cruises. They see you there. You're all irate, pissed off.
I'm going to the woman's house.
To the woman's house to confront her for having sex with your virgin 17-year-old pure kid.
All right.
That's you want the kid arrested.
Hold on. I've got to move my mind into.
No, you want the lady arrested.
I want the woman. I want the woman arrested.
You want the woman arrested.
All right.
Cops show up.
Yeah.
Now you're the cop. What do you do?
17 years old. She's a friend, his best friend's mother. Ooh.
I've seen this porno.
Does he have a job delivering pizza?
He just hangs out there, and the mom kind of thought he was kind of cute for a little 17-year-old boy and decided to molest him.
Yeah. Right? I mean, it's because the age of consent is 18. So I'm going to, maybe it's 17. Oh, this is interesting. This is why I think he asked the question. All right, I'm going to say.
What's your answer? Arrest or not arrest?
Fine. I'm going to just say arrest.
All right, Nathan, what is your answer? Arrest or not arrest? Is it an arrestable offense? Either cuff or kill. We're not going to kill on this one. Is it cuff or let her go?
Oh, why not let him shoot her?
Well, first, I'm going to ask the 17-year-old boy, so what was it like? Was it cool? Was it cool? And depending on his answer, I'm going to cuff her regardless, but... whether or not the cuffs are tight on her wrist will depend on the young boy's answer. Whether he says it was fucking awesome, I'll loosen the cuffs a bit.
There you go.
But if it wasn't awesome, then I'm going to tighten the cuffs.
No, obviously he's going to say it was awesome, but he has no idea.
Nothing to compare it to, right?
Well, he does one thing to compare it to, but Nathan, you know what he's got to compare it to. Yeah. So he's got one thing to compare it to, but he's going to say it's awesome no matter what because... but if he was crying, he was upset.
Do you want the answer?
I do want the answer. I'm trying to figure out why he was crying and upset about it. But
now the answer on this one is the age of consent on this one is 16.
Woo!
All right. So the mother, we're not moral police. Legally, that scenario, and I know that call intimately, that call was an easy one.
You know that call intimately?
Yeah, intimately. I was a 17-year-old kid. But no, that situation I would tell the father that while it's morally not correct that a 42-year-old lady had sex with a 17-year-old young man, legally under the law in Massachusetts, the age of consent is 16. So she can have sex with a 16-year-old boy as long as she didn't give him alcohol or drugs or entice him with pornography, which would be illegal. But that wasn't the case. They just had sex. So we told the father, we cannot arrest this lady. And that was it. He was pissed off. He left. He took his son. And we never heard from the family again.
Wow. Let me ask you this, because the son was upset about this?
I think he was upset because he thought he loved her, and she said, "Hey, we had it a couple of times," but then she had an awakening. It's like, well, I really probably shouldn't have sex with my son's best friend. That's probably not right. Plus, I'm married.
Yeah, it's easy to think that after the fact.
Yeah. All right, this is a good one though.
This is
very similar, but a little different. All right, this is you, Nathan, you lucky dog.
Oh,
so when you were in high school, you were like a drama kid and a music kid, right?
Yep.
All right, so you're 17 years old.
Yep.
You're a 56-year-old drama teacher. Thinks you're just the best actor she's ever seen, and she offers you oral sex, and you take it. Any crime there?
Do I, though? Do I take it?
56-year-old, she's a cutie.
Is she, though? I remember my drama teacher. She was not...
All right, how about a different drama teacher then?
Like a hot substitute?
Yeah, like a hot 56-year-old substitute.
Like a young Gina Lollobrigida.
I have no idea what that's a reference to.
She's hot. She was hot back in the day. She's 90 now, or maybe she's passed away.
I would consent.
So do you think it's legal for a 56-year-old teacher to have sex with a 17-year-old student?
Well, if the age of consent is 16 and I consent to sexual intercourse, me as a 17-year-old, her as a grown woman, it is technically legal, but you use that word morally, it's wrong. But we're cops. We don't deal in morals.
No, we don't. Not at all. All right, so let me give you the answer to this one.
No.
Oh, you want to try it, Dave? Yeah. What do you think, Dave?
Oh, I get it. He's wrong because she's a teacher. She's in a position of authority.
Trust and authority.
Trust, right. With a,
See, that's not fair because Dave's a teacher.
Yeah.
So he better know the law. Yeah, basically the law on that one, she would be arrested, even though the age of consent is 16. But usually in a school setting, a coach or something like that, someone has a position of trust or authority over a young kid, the age is typically 18. So if he was 18, it might be okay, but she's still going to probably get fired and all sorts of things going to happen, but it wouldn't be criminal. But this case, 100% criminal, should be arrested. Front page of the newspaper, Facebook, Instagram.
But the position of authority is what makes it hot. That's where all the fun comes from. Oh, okay. Nice.
The only thing that I can say about this is I don't even know why these kids would even tell their parents. If I was a kid, I would just keep my mouth shut and let it happen until something happened.
I think that what I think this happens in a lot of cases. I mean, it's always interesting because I remember back when I was a kid, you would hear about this stuff from other kids.
Nowadays on social media, people take pictures and video.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's all video and pictures. So.
I don't know why anybody does anything.
Yeah, why would you do that? You wouldn't do that, Nate. You wouldn't take a picture of your music teacher giving you
Oh, no, I would.
You would?
I'd take several dozen.
Send it out to the boys?
I'd take several dozen. I'd make at least like 3 different folders on my laptop. I'd hide them in the woods, bury them underneath a rock, come up with a map that only my close friends could find.
Crypto map.
Yes, exactly.
I just showed Nathan a picture of Gina Lollobrigida on my phone, and he agrees with me that was she his drama teacher?
Oh, absolutely.
And she was, what was this? What year was this picture taken? Probably in the 50s. But yeah, anyway, moving on.
There you go. Very attractive. So there you go.
I understand why you, from the adult's perspective, wouldn't do it. I also understand that you shouldn't have sex with an underage child. I understand that it messes up their heads. I just find it interesting that, and yeah, I mean, it's an interesting thing how many teachers, and I'm sure the percentage is very, very low. And the percentage, if we discount Florida, is probably even lower.
If you go on Barstool Sports, they have like teacher sex scandal of the week.
Yeah,
and it's all over the place.
Yeah,
and a lot of times it's middle school. It's like 25-year-old middle school teachers having sex with 14-year-old and 13-year-old kids.
And you wonder why they couldn't screen for, and maybe it's just easy to
for pedophilia.
For pedophilia, or for, and I know there's a different term for it. After a certain, like I think after 13, they call it something else.
Yeah, it's something else.
It's one of those things that we joke about it, particularly males joke about it as a female on
rite of passage.
But
that's how Nathan got all the leads and all the plays he was in.
Is that how he did it?
Probably. I don't think it was on talent though.
Okay, well,
it definitely wasn't talent.
Yeah, I can't.
Let me give you this scenario.
Right, good.
I'm going to promote you to detective for a minute here, Rattigan.
Excellent. I'm set.
All right, a mother calls you and says that she's been looking at her 16-year-old daughter's Instagram page and Facebook and all that other stuff, and she finds that she's been speaking to men in their 30s, and meeting them. Where do people meet to have sex? I told you this on the last podcast.
Lovers Lake.
Lovers Lane behind the Staples at any local shopping mall.
Parking lots, right.
Parking lot.
Butt fuck point.
So anyway, the mother finds out that her daughter has been meeting guys. She's like 16. She tells these men that she's 18. She looks 18, but she initiates everything. It's happened a couple of times, and just so it was a Sunday, we get the call, or this local police department gets the call. Guys show up, and the mother shows the Instagram photos she sent to this guy. He's like a 35-year-old guy from Connecticut, and the daughter is supposed to meet the guy behind a local shopping mall. Well, the cops show up. The guy's there. The daughter is in another car, and the daughter set up, the 16-year-old girl set up to have sex with the guy. Is that legal or not?
Is there a transaction involved?
No, it's not prostitution.
There's no money?
No, it's not money.
Wait. So
she's just a young girl looking.
She's
just a young nymphomaniac.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, and she's how old again?
She's 16.
16. What did we say the age of consent was? Was it 16? It was 16, right?
It's 16. Yeah, it's 16.
So we've got the age of consent of 16. She's hooked up with this 35-year-old guy.
She initiated everything.
She initiated everything. Is he liable? And you actually have a text chain that shows that she's
initiating everything.
She's initiating everything, and she's told him she's 18.
18. And she looks at least 18.
Okay, so...
Don't they always?
Yeah, don't they always?
All I can think of is when I was in high school and there were girls who looked 18. Oh.
But the high school you went to, there were probably 24. Walmart stupid girls, right?
No, not at all. I'm going to say if they can prove, well, this is a good question because everybody says, am I correct to say that every person who hooks up with an underage girl says, she told me she was 18. She told me she was 21, whatever the age of consent is. Well, based on what you said before, I'm going to guess, and if there's no transaction involved, there's no alcohol involved, there's no enticement, and she said she's 18. I'm going to say that he's in the clear.
Yeah, he was. And this one, he was in the clear. We spoke to him and said, hey, this is the deal. This is the deal with this young lady. She's got some issues. She's actually 16. She initiated everything. We have the text chain and the Instagram chains and all the message chains that prove that she started everything. We advised them, you might want to get back in your car and go back to Connecticut, which he was out of there real quick. And the young girl, her mother came down to the shopping mall, local shopping mall, grabbed the daughter and whether she was in counseling or something like that, whatever. We never heard from that family after that. But you flip the script on this one. If the 30-year-old guy is enticing this young girl to cross state lines and stuff like that, the law has changed a little bit different.
Oh, that's interesting. So
if he initiated it, even knowing she was 16, and then tried to entice her to cross state lines and go to Connecticut or New York to meet him.
Here's the question. He's from Connecticut. She's from here. He comes here. It's okay.
Well, like I said, it's if you know that they're 16 and they're not 18, even though the age of consent is 16 for sex, but once you would start enticing people to do different things, if you're the initiator as an adult, a lot of the times the law is going to look at it differently. But every state is different, so to give a blanket answer, it's hard to do that. But in this case, Dave, just let the young girl send the text messages to you and just go from there.
He was in the. Let me ask you one. Well, let me point out two things. First of all, let me point this out. Because he only asked me and he didn't ask you, Nathan, point for me. Ha ha. Now, number two.
All right.
Number two, I got to ask you this.
Yep.
This was a real case scenario?
This case right here?
Yeah.
All these cases are real.
All right.
100% real.
The 16-year-old girl, was she a good-looking 16-year-old girl?
Yeah, she was an attractive kid, you know.
And you never figured out what the root of it was?
No, she was just Nathan can speak of this. Nathan just got out of high school. She was a sexual deviant at 16. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. If I'm her father or mother, yeah, I'd be very concerned about her because you're going to end up in a bad situation.
Right. I once did a story.
But it's no different than a 16-year-old boy who's having sex with 10 different girls. And unfortunately, in today's society, the boy gets a pat on the back and the girl gets locked up in a psych ward.
So
it all depends how you look at it.
I think, well, for the sake of the kid, neither one is necessarily a good thing. Yeah, neither one is a good thing. And I'm going to just stop right there.
I'm not saying it's a good thing, but I think society looks at it. Certain segments of society.
I think society still.
But we're not the moral police here.
We're not the moral police.
No. But I got one more for you. This is a doozy.
If we were the moral police, would we have to make a citizen's arrest?
Citizen's arrest.
All right, go. I'm sorry.
All right, this is a good one. This is assault and battery.
What's the score?
The score, I got Dave 4, Nathan 3.
All right, excellent. I think he's just making that up as he goes.
This is a big one, though. Hi, Nathan. This is your call, baby.
Oh, okay.
All right, so basically we're dealing with an assault and battery. Just to give you a brief definition, an assault and battery would, if I walked up to Nathan and punched him in the face, assault and battery.
Oh, good idea.
Assault and battery with a dangerous weapon. If I walked up to Nathan, grabbed a Louisville slugger, and whacked him over the head, assault and battery, dangerous weapon.
You ruined a perfectly good bet.
Same scenario. I tell Nathan I'm going to kick his ass. No physical touching, no weapon, simple assault. All right, 3 different scenarios, 3 different crimes, all handled differently.
Okay.
All right, Nathan, you get a call to go down to the CVS. All right, it's about 9 o'clock at night and they're closing. A guy's calling frantic. He says his name is Dave and he was just assaulted. He was in line at the CVS, him and another guy.
I had a rapid COVID test, the last one.
Dave was trying to pick up his prescription of Viagra.
Okay.
I'm not sure why he needs Viagra. He wasn't using it for a date. He was just using it to watch porn. But Dave was in line first.